kids. Your old pal Krusty's gonna teach you 5 new words.
You're not wrong about that.
From Dallas, Texas, number 55, Bryan Broaddus.
Thank you very much. Hey, Lucius, got a question for you.
Yeah, what up, though?
The song is what, California Love? Is that what the one's called? Is that the song you play?
Mm-hmm.
Do you play songs that when you have to do a read, that the rhythm of it kind of goes along with your read?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I just want to hear something else.
Because it's the cadence. It's funny, when you read that, it's like the read kind of matched what you were doing with the music and how it was.
With the vibe, bro.
That's what I was saying. I was thinking, man, look at Lucius. He's like playing this music to like make his read flow smoother. So it's just, I thought maybe I was just, sitting around when you had about 3 hours of sleep. There's things you notice, So
yeah, pop into your head.
Just ideas pop in your head. So anyway, but thank you guys, appreciate that. Football last night.
Mm-hmm.
Football last night.
Football was played.
Did it happen last night?
Football
was that real?
Football was played last night.
I was so bent.
I know.
I
know.
What if there was an area though? If there was an area of the game that you were bent about?
Yeah.
The thing that, and I'll talk about it here in a little bit. The special team stuff, because to me that. Bill Parcells, as much as he hated me, he always talked about the hidden yards.
Yeah.
And like,
wasn't that hidden last night, was it?
Well, the hidden yards, are the penalties you get, hidden yards, the kickoff returns, the punt returns, those are the hidden yards in a game. And I'm sitting there watching that, and every time you felt like that you had a chance, Aubrey would kick that ball off, and you would go, this damn thing's coming back to the 50, and it's just that they were already like you
basically in field goal range.
Every time I thought they got to do better this time. Surely they've cleaned this up.
Yeah, but it didn't. It didn't.
No.
It didn't. And what's really disappointing about it is they've had some trouble this year with this. This hasn't been. Yeah. This isn't one of those things like, oh, look, in week 14 we're just going to not play. We're not going to cover kicks. But what they tried to do a couple of different times, and I mentioned this earlier a few hours ago, that when you watch it on tape, there's nothing really exotic that the Lions were doing. And it's hard to really be exotic with a bunch of, when you're not full running down the field. There used to be a time where you could like crossers and you could do all kinds of things to kind of set up blocks.
Yeah.
But Detroit played you pretty. Whoever didn't get the ball went and attacked what you would call L1 or L2. That's left or right. So that first guy is who they would attack with the off returner.
Okay.
And now it was about, let's use the others to try and kind of kick in and create like a seam. And they were just taking it. They were just taking it at the seam or taking it at that. They get the kick or get a tie-up and then get the pins inside, and then they get it out on the edge. Guys weren't getting off. I mean, there was one of the big returns that they had, not the last one, but Dallas tried something where they were going to run Maris Leofau, and they were going to run Hunter Lipke. So here they are stationary. They run them. They kick the ball deep left. So everybody knows, okay, when the huddle call, deep left, ball is going to be so. There's some guys that say they used to have a thing called avoid right, avoid left. So whatever side the ball was kicked to, everybody knew avoid blocks left. Mm-hmm. So if you were going to avoid a block, you had to go to your left. Because if you didn't, if there was one person that didn't, there would be a natural gap there. Well, Dallas has a situation where they run Hunter Lipke and Maris Leofau like down inside. They run him like inside, like they're inside players, but they run them to the edge to try and get to the ball. And then you have with James and Clark are going to fill behind them. So you got two going to the ball, two trying to fill. Well, what happens is Lipke and Maris get blocked, and now two to the fill get blocked.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's this big gap in between where
and Brandon Aubrey standing at the end of it.
Yeah. So what's happening is they're trying to get defenders to the ball and then fill behind it, and they didn't get it filled because when they got there, they got blocked. So now there's this crease that you're dealing with the return. So a couple of times, like I say, Dallas tried to do some things like, okay, let's see if we can mess up their account, their count across the board, and they didn't do it. And so, unfortunately, Dallas, they had to deal with a couple of those.
Do you think it's player fix, or should Sorensen be out of here?
To me, that's why are we – give me the why here. Give me the why. What are we trying to get – I mean, we all know Maris can – we know Maris will fight his way in there. We know Hunter Lipke will fight his way,
Yeah.
To me – I'm just kind of looking at it as why if we're struggling with some defending returns, why? I mean, I can understand trying things, but how about just maybe like
hit the basics.
Let's
keep it simple.
Let's just try and like kick it deep. Avoid all blocks left. Everybody take off, avoid, and that way you got all the gaps accounted for. But here, it was pretty simplistic what the Lions were doing to you, and now. You had to, every time you look up, the ball's their starting field position was at the 41.
Wow.
Yeah, and what annoyed me was it was just, why not kick it in the end zone?
Yeah,
like if you're consistently just getting beat with the returns, just boot it in the end zone. Hubbard can do that easily.
Yeah.
That would be admitting defeat, wouldn't it? I don't know if coaches are built like that. Like, we're just going to give it to you at the 35.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're starting at the 41, at least
been
you're
doing
saving
a pretty
6
good
yards.
job. I mean, they're probably bottom third in the special teams, but a lot of the field positions between the 25 and 30 most weeks.
Yeah,
it's just back-to-back games for sure they've lost.
They've lost. Yeah, I think this one was one of the reasons why. I think turnovers. I think Dallas defensively. This is going to sound crazy. If you study in and you look at the metrics will tell you about the numbers, but if you watch Dallas play on all their third down, there weren't that many of them, but you watch them play on third down, they actually had a pretty good plan how to play against Detroit. The run wasn't going to be a factor. The factor was that you stopped with the pressures. You stopped with the blitzing. You stopped with the bringing the fifth guy. And for the life of me, I said it earlier, I don't know what spooked Eberflus on this thing. Because to me, if I would have seen that, I would have kept it up. Right. I would have kept bringing the extra rusher. Because they clearly had a problem. They had a problem early in that game with Tristan Colon, the guard in that game. Like he gave up like 6 pressures in the first 10 passes. So they pulled him out and went with Frazier differently there just because they were worried that they were going to get crushed. And then you went away from that. Now, Frazier didn't play poorly, but still you had an opportunity to attack them in a way that was giving them problems, and you didn't stay with it. So then now you have the problems in the secondary. And like I said, we could talk about Ravel. He was not great. I'm not going to sit there and sugarcoat that at all. I think Bland was worse. I think Overshone had one of his poorest games. I said it earlier. I feel like that Overshone, we might be asking too much of him.
Even in his prime, he was a splash guy who would over-pursue and not see things, and he'd be trying to recover late in a play. Yeah. So he was, to me, he was never going to be that menace of a linebacker constantly shutting things down. He's going to be a fast, great athlete, try hard that every now and then is going to totally change the game in your favor.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that to me that we were all thinking that plug him in, everything's going to be cool. He's back, playing great.
Yeah.
That as a unit, like I say, the metrics, the numbers, the eye test, some good things that were done. The problems that they ran into, though, was the stuff with the run after catch, and we mentioned that.
Poor tackles.
And just did not have a really good answer for St. Brown in that football game.
Need a beast middle linebacker? Did you notice anything on Logan Wilson, or did you take a hard look at him or anything?
I think Logan Wilson. No, I think overall as a unit that back seven, that was a problem. That was like I mentioned, Overshone, Logan Wilson, Murray. They didn't. The only thing that you noticed really positive from the linebacker play was the time that Maris Leofau early in the game was bringing some pressures on the blitz. But other than that, it was a really rough game for the safeties, rough game for the corners as well.